This is the fourth episode in our series on building brand value, entitled Brand Culture Equals Brand Value. I'm Rolfe, strategist at Idea Power, and by far the most common thing we find clients need to change in order to turn their brands around is their culture. What makes brand culture so critical to building a strong brand? Well, what if I told you you could build a billion-dollar company fundamentally based off a great culture? Would you believe me? Tony Hsieh did it. He built Zappos, an online shoe retailer, based on one simple principle. Job satisfaction has a direct effect on customer satisfaction. In other words, happy staff equals happy customers. And in 2009, Zappos was sold to Amazon for, wait for it, $1.2 billion. He says, our belief is that a company's culture and a company's brand are just two sides of the same coin, meaning the gap between your external and internal reputation is growing ever shorter in today's market. Great culture also attracts great talent. And for companies, increasing creativity and innovation in the workplace is becoming ever more vital. David Cummings, co-founder of Pardo, the company that invented Salesforce, says corporate culture is the only sustainable competitive advantage that is completely within the control of the entrepreneur. Let me say that again, the only sustainable competitive advantage. So today, I want to share with you 4 key principles to get your culture right. Principle number 1, get ego out of the way. Let me be clear on what I mean by this statement. People can often confuse ego and confidence, yet they are two completely different things. Confidence is great. It means I'm comfortable with who I am. I know what I'm great at and what I'm not so good at. But ego, on the other hand, looks to step on others' self-esteem in order to build their own. Self-worth coming at the expense of others, blocking meaningful engagement. Simply put, ego destroys culture. It fundamentally needs to leave the room for the real work to begin. Our number 1 value at Idea Power is there's no space for ego, only respect. And this has become the basis of our brand culture going forward. Principle number 2, it needs to come from within. Firstly, brand culture starts at the top of an organization. I think this is quite obvious, but most business owners fall into the trap of wanting to create a culture that only applies to their staff. This never works. You have to be a leader and lead by example. Tony Hsieh, CEO of Zappos, has his office right in the middle of their call center. No fancy corner office for this CEO. This is what I call a real open door policy. After the CEO, you need to identify the key leaders and influencers in your business and get this group together to help formulate, implement, and nurture your brand's culture. You need this group because you want to ensure that your culture gets the maximum buy-in from staff. Using a consultancy like us can help you structure the process and can be very valuable. But you cannot completely outsource the problem. Your culture needs to be born from within your company. Principle number 3, actionable values. If your values read like a press statement stuck into frames with random images, they are fundamentally meaningless. The words need to ring true both for staff and for management. They need to be actionable, meaning when you read it, you should be able to picture how to implement the value. Again, I quote Tony Hsieh. We believe that it's really important to come up with core values that you can commit to. Values you can commit to means values that you can hire and fire against. That's right. If done correctly, your values will actually determine and drive your HR policy going forward. Principle number 4, it requires constant care and nurturing. This is a very simple one. You need to manage your culture as you would any relationship in your life you value. It needs constant love and attention to give the real return to your business's operations. We regularly spend time with our family and loved ones, basically showing them we care. It's the same with building your brand culture. It requires constant time, effort, and energy. It may seem very intimidating to set up and nurture your brand culture, but you can be guided through the process by consultancies such as ourselves, and you will find it extremely rewarding, and what you put in will pale in comparison to what you get out. I have a confession to make here. I woke up about 3 years ago hating what I did every day. I'd built this business for many years, but my energy had gone. The passion had left. Around the same time, I got a bunch of staff resignations in a very short period. And all of a sudden, I felt better about coming to work. That's when it dawned on me. In order to love what I do, I need to love who I do it with as well. Hence, we needed to change our culture to get the right people. It's one decision I will never regret. It completely transformed Idea Power, and we wouldn't be here today if not for the great people that work here. Thank you for watching.